Hello my friends, it's Danny, and today I'm gonna show you how to make braised red cabbage with apples and onions. Now, my husband and I discovered this dish probably 10 years ago when it was served as a side at one of our favorite restaurants. It's a little bit sour, a little bit sweet, and very tender and buttery. It's absolutely delicious, served alongside some baked pork chops, some roasted chicken, salmon, or if you wanted to keep it vegan or vegetarian, you could serve this right alongside a nice big fat stuffed baked potato. And while this recipe is very easy to make, it does take about 40-45 minutes on the stove. So it's perfect for a weekend or for a holiday like St. Patrick's Day, or it would be a great addition to your meal prep because it's one of those side dishes that just gets better and better with time. And my dear friends, if you enjoy simple, delicious recipes just like the one we're gonna be making today, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and make sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss a new recipe. Okay, so let's get started with our braised red cabbage. The main ingredients in this recipe are red cabbage, apples, and onions. So to get started, I am heating a 12-inch cast iron skillet over a medium heat. Now, if you don't have a cast iron skillet, you could also do this with a large non-stick saute pan, or better yet, you could do it in a Dutch oven because you're gonna see that the cabbage has a lot of volume when we get it into the pot, so having some space is a good thing. Once my pan has heated up, I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of butter. I'll let that melt down, and then in goes 1 good-sized yellow onion that I cut in half, and then I give it 1 vertical slice down the center, and then cut into thin slices, just like this. I'm gonna add a pinch of salt to my onions and then gently stir them around in the pan. Let them cook for about 5 or 6 minutes. Really what we're looking for is the onions to become translucent. We don't really wanna brown the onions, although they may begin to develop a nice light caramelized color, and that's perfectly fine. But if they seem to be browning quickly, then you wanna turn your heat down and let them cook really slowly. Now, while that's happening, let's chat about our apples. You wanna use something that's really crisp and nice and bright and tart. Personally, I love to use a Granny Smith apple. That's the green apples like I have right here. But you could also do something like a Fuji apple or a Honey Crisp. Then what I like to do is I just slice the apple cheeks into boards, just like this, all the way around the apple, lay them down, cut them into strips, rotate and go back the other way. And you're gonna end up with these little sweet bits of bite-sized apple jewels throughout your dish. And now that my onions are looking nice and tender and translucent, I'm gonna add the apples into the pan along with 2 cloves of chopped up garlic. Give that a little more salt, a pinch of black pepper, gently stir that together and let it go for about 3 or 4 minutes. You really just want to get the raw edge off of the apples, and you want that garlic to become nice and fragrant. Now, while that's happening, I'm gonna prepare my cabbage. Now, I have a 2-pound head of cabbage here. This is a great size. You probably wanna stick to 2.5 pounds for this recipe. I start by just rinsing it under some cold water, clean it off, and then just pull off any of the outer leaves that look beaten up or torn down. Trim the bottom of the cabbage so that you can stand it up straight and sturdy without it rocking around, and then get your knife over the top and slowly seesaw back and forth until you can slice that cabbage right down the center. I find the easiest way to do this is to kind of get your body up over the knife. Now from here, I'm just gonna cut the core out because that can be rather tough. So you're just gonna take your knife down on a diagonal and just kind of wedge it out, and you'll see it'll pop right out. Lay the cabbage down on its flat side and then cut into nice thin ribbons. Now you could really make these as thin or as thick as you like. The thinner they are, the faster they're gonna cook. The thicker they are, the longer they're gonna take to cook. There's no wrong way to do it, but you do wanna try to make them as uniform as possible so that they all cook at about the same rate. So I'm gonna get all of that cabbage into the pan with the apples and the onion and the garlic, and then I'm gonna top that off with a 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar, that's our sour, a tablespoon of honey, that along with the apples is our sweet. Then I'm gonna give it just a splash of water, about 1/4 cup, and another layer of salt and pepper. Now, because the cabbage has a lot of volume when you first get it into the pan, I find the easiest way to move it around the pan is with a tongue, just like this one. And you can kind of rotate the bottom up to the top until you've got everything well incorporated. And you're gonna see very quickly as this starts to cook that it's going to come way, way down in volume. Now from here, I'm gonna bring my heat down to low because we want this to cook low and slow for about 30 minutes on the stove. And every 5, 6, 7 minutes, you wanna come over and just rotate all of the ingredients, making sure the bottom of the pan is coming up to the top and we're rotating everything around so that it cooks evenly. If at any point you come over to the stove and the pan is looking a little dry, just give it an extra splash of water, because what's gonna happen is the liquids are gonna evaporate out as our cabbage becomes nice and tender. Now, the longer you let the cabbage cook, the more tender it's gonna become. So it really is just a matter of personal preference. For me, I find right about 30 minutes is the sweet spot. But when you think it's done and ready to go, make sure that you get your fork in there and give it a taste. Do you want it a little tangier? You could add a little more vinegar. Do you want it a little sweeter? You could add a little more honey. Does it need a little salt, a little pepper? I don't know. You're the boss. Taste it and decide. Once you've got your cabbage right where you want it, you're gonna transfer it into your favorite serving dish, and then completely optional, and definitely you don't wanna do this step if you're keeping this recipe 100% vegan, but otherwise I love to dot this with a little bit of creamy goat cheese over the top. It just adds one more layer of texture and flavor to the dish that really elevates it right up to the next level, and a handful of fresh chopped parsley. Absolutely gorgeous. It's bright and tangy, a little bit sour, but the honey really rounds it out with a little bit of sweetness. And personally, I just love how the creamy goat cheese complements the dish. So good. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. If it makes it onto your weekend meal prep or onto your St. Patty's Day table, make sure that you snap a picture and tag me on Instagram and on Facebook so I can see all of the clean and deliciousness that you're whipping up in your very own kitchens. And if you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share this channel with anybody else you know who wants to make healthy eating easy. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Danny Spees, and I'll see you back here next time with some more clean and deliciousness. Cheers. Do I have a squirrel on my neck over here? What's happening right here?
No.
Sure?
Yeah.
Is that better? Okay. Why are you laughing? And since we're at it, I'll just check my hair.